Good morning. Eyebrows are healing. So today's one of those days. I wish I could set my phone down. Let me see if that'll work. Today's one of those days you can see in my eyes. I'm sad. I don't know, it's like one of those days where a lot is going on. Not really a lot is going on. I just think I'm just emotional. Somebody changed my seat. I'm so particular with my classroom. I know exactly where things are. And I was absent yesterday, and I'm just looking out at my seats right now, and I can tell 2 seats were moved. It's like my OCD, which has something to do with what I'm about to share with you today. OMG. So I don't know. I'm tired. The end of the school year is always tough. And then just other things going on, and I'm trying to prepare my daughter for the end of her school year. And she was crying because she didn't want to say goodbye to her teachers, and then I feel bad because she's crying. And then this morning I come down my stairs, and my husband, if you've been keeping up with my vlogs, you know he's become quite the gardener. And he's creating a garden of fruits and vegetables. We don't have grounds, so he's germinating in our living room, and he has moved things around, and I'm like, ugh. And then this morning I come down the steps, and he actually switched out one of my light bulbs for like a grow bulb, and switched off the other light. So when I turn the switch on, the one light doesn't turn on, and the light that does turn on has a grow bulb, and there's like this pink hue in my living room, and I'm like, what the hell? And I felt like myself getting upset, and I'm like, relax, this is his project, this is his thing, let me support him. Once the backyard is done, everything's gonna go in the yard, so I just had to like calm myself down. And for me, I'm just so particular, and it took me months to find the correct shade of light bulbs, because there's a certain type of lighting that I want in my house. I don't want it to be too soft. I don't want it to be too ambered. I don't want it to be too like bright and daylight. So it took me a while to find the shade that I wanted, and I finally found it. And so to see a pink hue threw me off. So then that happened, and then I'm driving, right? Oh, before that, then my daughter takes forever to get ready in the morning, and put your shoes on, put your shoes on, put your shoes on, like 10 times. She doesn't put her shoes on. And we're like running late, and I like leaving my house by 6:20, the latest, so that I could beat traffic. And we're like pulling out of my driveway at 6:30, so that had me a little frazzled. And then I'm driving, and I'm like, forgot to put on deodorant. So I was like, so then that's getting to me. And then I pull up to my mom's house, and you know, when things are a routine, it's just like, it's whatever, it's a routine. But there was some commotion on my mom's block, and there's never commotion on her block. And there's these 2 cop cars just like driving fast past the house, and one stopped in front of the house, and I'm like, did I do something wrong? I do this every morning, Mr. Police Officer. But he wasn't with me. He was just waiting, and then all of a sudden I hear another cop car, and that one comes zooming by, and then the cop car that's in front of my mom's house, kind of looking at me. I think they thought that the emergency was with me. I don't know what's happening. The cop's looking at me, and I'm just taking my son out of the car and putting his book bag on. And I think when the cop saw me calmly putting the book bag on my son, he realized, no, the emergency's not in this house. So the other cop car zooms by, and he passes the house, and then they both make a U-turn, and now they're facing my mom's house, and they're making like circles around the street, and my mom's still not outside. I'm just like looking like what's happening? And then they finally find the house, and it's like my mom's neighbor, like across the street neighbor, like 2 houses down across the street. They pull into his driveway and he pops open the trunk and he's running. The cop gets a bag and he's running up the driveway. And I'm like, and by this time now my mom is coming outside because you hear the sirens and the commotion and she's looking. And it's this guy, I call him Conant Jimmy. Long story short, not long story short, I can't even speak today. It's a hidden joke that I have with my family. His name is not Jimmy, but we call him Conant Jimmy because we have this guy called Jimmy, a friend of the family, and anytime we need help, he helps us. He's always, doing something. And this guy, I don't know, every time we saw him walking up and down the neighborhood, we were like, oh my God, he reminds us of Jimmy. And so we called him Conant Jimmy because my mom lives on a street called Conant. So the emergency was with Conant Jimmy. And even though I don't know this guy personally, I just know him because was the neighbor. I don't know, I felt so terrible. And at this point now, there's 2 police cars, there's an ambulance driving up the street, there's a fire truck. I mean, it's just like, first responders galore. And I see him, laying on the ground, and oh my God, it made me so sad. So I don't know what happened because I had to come to work, but it made me sad. So my mom stayed out there and she was praying, and stuff. So, and he has issues with substance abuse. So we hope and pray that he's okay. So all of those things just have me upset today. And this is my daily, I was going to say daily struggle, but struggle has a negative connotation in my mind. So this is my daily decision. Like every day, I have to wake up and make a decision to choose joy. Because a lot of little things get to me. And then you're like, well, this is like your video of like health journey. Well, this is a part of my health journey. Because, sorry, y'all, I don't have tissue in my room. I ran out of, and that's another thing. I have a personal bathroom in my hallway. And they didn't fill up the dispenser and I have like no paper. That's what it is. And so this is my daily decision to choose joy because something is always like getting to me lately, and it's just a part of my anxiety in life. And I wake up every day like, decide to have a good day, decide to choose joy, decide not to be sad. So today's one of those days where I'm working really hard to choose joy. And one of the reasons why this is so closely tied to my health journey is because, which is another thing, yesterday, my routine was out of whack, completely out of whack. And I didn't gain any weight, but I didn't lose any weight. So that's because last night I ate some extra cheese and extra fueling. I didn't cook my meal that I'm supposed to cook every night. And I was kind of just like frantic, like just eat this and just eat that and snack on this cheese and snack on this fueling and have some Quest chips. And it threw me off. My routine was off yesterday and then off again this morning. And I've noticed that when that happens, like I want to soothe myself by eating. And so what makes me a little bit nervous about summer vacation, which starts next week for me, is the fact that my routine is going to be different for this summer because I'm not waking up at 5 or 4 in the morning and not getting out of bed at 4:45. I'm not driving in the car at 6:20. So the change of the routine makes me nervous because will I eat more? Will I now start thinking about food more? Because when I'm at work, it's hard to think about food because I'm teaching. It's like I have to teach. I can't eat. I have to teach. But at home, I'm at home. So I'm working on creating a schedule for myself so that I don't lose my momentum and, just trash all of this hard work that I've done these past 30 days. So that's where I'm at. I'll be fine. I've shed my tears. I'll be fine. But I mean, if you're seeing this video, as it's coming out, pray for my neighbor or my mom's neighbor because I don't live in that neighborhood anymore. To pray for him, to say Conant Jimmy. God knows who he is. And just, pray for anyone that's that's having a hard time making a decision to choose joy, right? For me and for all of those other moms and dads that struggle with the daily routines and struggle with emotional eating and just struggle, right? The struggle is real. But instead of saying, "Oh my God, I'm struggling with X, Y, and I can't even speak," instead of saying I struggle with X, Y, and Z, let's maybe change how we speak and say, I'm choosing joy. I'm choosing to not be an emotional eater today. I'm choosing to put a smile on my face. I'm choosing to enjoy the beautiful Friday. So that's my tidbit for the day, y'all. I'm done ranting. So he died. Conant Jimmy. He died. Never met him in person. Like, I never said hello to him or anything, but he was just, that guy in the neighborhood. I was always like zigzagging up and down the street and, mowing the lawn and just doing a lot of stuff. He was short, skinny, bald. And it was sad to see him unconscious on his driveway and to see all of, those first responders around him. And I had to leave for work. It was 7 a.m. And then when I got to my mom's house to pick up my kids, sorry, I'm printing stuff. When I went to pick up my kids, I asked my mom, did you hear anything? And she was like, he died. And I was like, who told you? So she called over his dad. And he said, yeah, he died. So, pray for their family. I mean, I don't know his name. Just say Conant Jimmy, and God will know who he is. And just pray that the family has comfort and strength. It's very, very sad. You wake up one day thinking it's going to be a regular routine of a day, and it's not. And then something else happened at work today that I literally blanked out and forgot to do my end of year procedures. It's like a whole checklist you have to do, and failure lists and whatnot, and get signatures, and my brain is so tired and so fogged out that I forgot to do it. So I'm home, and I'm gonna get started. Half of the packet was due today, and just couldn't believe I forgot. And this is my anxiety coming through my my GAD. I don't get the debilitating pains or sicknesses or whatever anymore. Older, as I progress in age, the older I get, my anxiety reflects itself in, I guess, like forgetfulness. And I'm just forgetting so many things. It's insane. And I think that the end of the school year it's feeling tough for me. Not because I'm like, oh my God, the end, I'm so sad, my seniors are leaving. I mean, to a little extent. But it's just been such a crazy year that the fact that it's starting to wind down, I think the weight of the stress of this year from hell is hitting me. And I'm just, hoping and praying that I don't give in to these emotions by eating. So I'm up in my office, away from the kitchen. I've got my trusty coffee. It's almond milk, a tablespoon of chocolate Walden syrup, and a little bit of instant coffee. And I'm just gonna lock myself up in my office and get my work done and stay busy and try to lift my spirits, because I am I'm out of it today. I'm trying real hard to choose joy.